welcome to Inside Outlook. I'm Jeff Havers, Superintendent of Pemberton Township Schools. As we're all aware, we live in a time where artificial intelligence is everywhere, impacting how we get our information, how we surf the web, how we write and create, and even how we teach and learn. We can make AI the topic on Inside Outlook for the remainder of the year, and we still wouldn't scratch the surface of exploring its role in education. For now, it's important for parents and students to recognize that AI is a powerful tool that will continue to play a significant role in education moving forward. With me today to discuss some basic ways AI can be used in our classrooms is instructional coach Larry Zuares, a key member of the district's artificial intelligence team. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Havers.
Mr. Zuares, today we're going to focus on just one type of AI as it pertains to our schools, and that's generative AI. Can you give us a brief explanation of what that is?
Of course. So generative AI is essentially a powerful computer program that can create new content. So things like text, images, even video, audio, computer code, all sorts of things. It learns patterns by looking at the massive data that's available online, and then it uses those patterns to do things like predict the next word in a sentence, the next pixel in an image, that sort of thing. Some examples people might be familiar with would be like ChatGPT. There's also Google Gemini or Microsoft Copilot. Those are all examples of text generators that some people might be familiar with.
Okay, so those are a few of the programs our viewers may be familiar with. Can you give a few examples of how students could use them appropriately in our classrooms?
Sure. So if managed carefully by the teacher, I do believe that AI can be beneficial to students in the classroom. For instance, we've seen it used to have students brainstorm ideas, generate rough outlines for their essays, and then to actually find mistakes in their writing that they can then correct before they submit their work. For our students at Helen Fort Middle School, they'll be using a platform called Conmigo, which will act as a writing tutor, and it will provide some personalized feedback to the student. And ultimately, the key is that students remain in control of the entire process and ultimately of the final product.
Those are some great examples, Mr. Zuares. But can any student use AI whenever they want to?
So absolutely not. All AI use must be teacher-directed and supervised at all times. And for students under the age of 13, their exposure to AI is restricted to supervised group activities with approved tools. The technology is just too powerful, and to be honest with you, it makes too many mistakes. Therefore, it is critical for educators to maintain oversight on how it's being implemented.
Right. We want some oversight in how it's implemented because there are some downsides to students having unlimited access to AI. Tell us about some of those, Mr. Zuares.
That's correct. So the main concern is that AI replaces genuine learning and critical thinking skills. The biggest issues that we'll see in the classroom, I think, have to do with academic dishonesty and students using AI to bypass skill assessments. And then there's the issue of misinformation. So AI is kind of notorious for just making stuff up. And if students are not taught how to fact check everything that AI outputs, they'll be left believing false information.
All right. Are there tools available for teachers if they suspect a student is using AI inappropriately?
Yes, there are tools available. They typically fit into one of two categories. The first one is AI content detector. The second would be just kind of our standard plagiarism recognition software. And we use kind of a mixture of both. However, I do caution teachers not to rely solely on technology to, quote, catch students. Really, the best course of action is to create assignments that AI can't complete easily, and really to gauge a student's understanding on conversations.
Our student handbooks state that students must clearly disclose when AI is used in their work, and teachers should specify when, how, and to what extent students can use AI. Can you share a few other points from the student handbooks?
Certainly. So the policies are mainly focused on protecting the integrity of student work and also their personal data. So in addition to what you've already mentioned, the handbooks also emphasize that students must be taught to critically evaluate AI output, both for accuracy and for bias. In addition, all staff as well as students need to protect what's called personally identifiable information, or PII, and never disclose private data to these online platforms. Finally, all AI use must follow teacher guidance and the assignment requirements as they are stated.
And what role can parents play in ensuring their child is using AI appropriately?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So parents are our most vital partners in all of this. Ideally, parents would have the role of just reinforcing what we're already communicating to students in class, and that's that AI can be an effective support tool, but not a replacement for thinking. Parents can monitor their students' use of AI at home, and just stress that a student's homework as well as their schoolwork is always original. They can also remind students that the goal is really for their child to learn the material, not for the computer to do the work.
Right. So acknowledging that AI is here to stay, can you summarize the benefits AI can offer to student learning?
Yeah, so ultimately, it's our goal to prepare students for a world in which AI might be everywhere. Used correctly, AI can be a tool to engage students in personalized learning. It can also help explore complex concepts in new ways. But the biggest benefit, in my opinion, is that it actually forces us to teach those critical skills of fact-checking and ethical use, skills that students will need for life.
Absolutely. Mrs. Zuares, thanks for joining us and sharing some insight into the world of artificial intelligence.
Thank you, Mr. Havers.
A few reminders before I go. The next Board of Education meeting will take place Thursday, November 20th at 6:30 p.m. in the Pemberton Township High School Auditorium. It will be a combined work session and action meeting. Schools will be closed November 6th and 7th for NJEA Teachers Convention and on November 11th for Veterans Day. That's our show for today. I look forward to seeing you next time on Inside Outlook.